I think that we are doing a good job. The migration that is occurring throughout the hemisphere is reflective of the economic downturn, increase in violence throughout the region, the result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the results of climate change.
All right, so he thinks they're doing a good job. There are a lot of people who would disagree with that. Joining us now, Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Mark, always great to see you. Let's start with this classification today, because you and I have had many conversations about this, and we know how dire the situation is down at the border. But, you know, creating this distinction in some way, is that going to help solve the problem? Because clearly, Secretary Mayorkas has no plan on doing anything.
No, absolutely not. What the Biden administration has done is systematically undermine the rule of law. And what Secretary Mayorkas and what Joe Biden are doing doesn't survive rational thought, yet alone legal scrutiny. As we know, we've not only seen a record amount of migrants illegally enter our country, which is overwhelming social services, which is having a huge fiscal impact on American taxpayers. I mean, the cartels have seized operational control, so we're seeing a record amount of fentanyl, record amount of methamphetamine coming into our country, which is killing our kids, our nieces, nephews, and sons and daughters.
So what has to happen, Mark? I mean, we can call it whatever we want. We've been saying it's a crisis for the longest time, that it's an invasion. But what has to happen to elicit change? Because that's what people who live in your state and people who live in other border states want to know. They feel like this president and this administration has essentially left them behind, like they've been abandoned and they have to fend for themselves.
Absolutely, Jackie. But remember, every state is a border state now as a result of migrants literally being put up in hotels and transported throughout the entire United States. And so all of us are paying the consequences. And whether it's at the gas pump, the grocery store, or what we're seeing now with gang activity in our communities and the cartels seeking operational control, we are all being impacted by this. And the reason why I have filed so many lawsuits, we were successful in stopping Joe Biden from rescinding Title 42. We're suing him over trying to make sure that he builds the wall that American taxpayers have paid for, making sure that we're not releasing felons and other people arrested into our communities. And so it has to begin with enforcing existing law. And furthermore, I was the first official in the entire country. I've issued an opinion that's saying what the Biden administration is doing is undermining Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution, Section 4, because we are in the midst of an invasion right now. And if Joe Biden won't do its job, then it is up to the governors to declare an invasion and mobilize the National Guard, start erecting barriers, start, arresting people and repatriating back to Mexico and controlling our ports of entry.
So basically what I'm hearing from you is we've got to sit tight right now until the midterms, see if we get the red wave that everybody's predicting, and hope that Congress will enact some sort of legislation to reinstitute some of the policies, as you said, to take those materials we have already paid for and try to finish the wall. I mean, because right now we're sort of in this no man's land where, they say don't come, but they really mean come, and people are coming in droves.
Yes. Well, just remember, Jackie, I'm not saying do nothing. I have been the leading proponent and advocate of pushing back against the overreach of the Biden administration on things like unconstitutional vaccine mandates, but also trying to enforce existing law and protect us under the Constitution. And we have a lawsuit right now where Joe Biden wants to allow DHS to grant asylum to people now instead of immigration judges. So there are all sorts of nonsense and shenanigans the Biden administration is doing to permanently undermine and change our immigration system. So I am in court every single day fighting him, whether it's over Title 42, whether it's over asylum rules, and we have issued a formal legal opinion. People can go to our website and check it out. I believe what's happening right now constitutes an invasion. It is now up to the governors of the respective states to declare that declared invasion. And if Joe Biden and the federal government won't do its job, it's time for Arizona to step up and do it for him.
Yeah, and as you say, reforming the immigration system in this way has repercussions, right? You change the demographics of the country and the voting population as well. There's an agenda behind this. Always great to see you, Mark. We'll have you back on.
Thank you, Jackie.